I accidentally got my mother's best friend pregnant. She was not only mature and alluring, but her womanly charm made me completely lose my head. Her bright, long, white legs were often faintly visible beneath black stockings, and her delicate, jade-like feet occasionally gave off a milky fragrance. I had only been sad after a breakup and had a little too much to drink. I don't even know who made the first move. I just blurrily engaged in some double-teaming, a euphemism for sex. When I woke up, there was no one around. But soon after, I received a strange phone call. The person said Jiang Wanwan was about to give birth and told me to hurry over. I thought, what does the universally recognized campus goddess professor Jiang Wanwan giving birth have to do with me? This must be a scam call. But the person on the other end was a nurse who said I was the emergency contact on the expectant mother's phone. Seeing this, I didn't think twice and rushed over to see what was happening. Jiang Wanwan was lying on the hospital bed, looking haggard, yet her perfect beauty was still undeniable. She gently stroked her belly, sighing to herself about whether that person would even show up. She wasn't sure herself. On my side, I took a cab straight to the hospital. When I arrived at the 5th floor ward, I was surprised to see my own mother outside. "Mom, what are you doing here?" I asked in surprise. My mom had just bought a pile of necessities and was about to take the elevator up. Hearing my voice, she sighed. "Don't even mention it. I'm helping my best friend. Help me carry these." The elevator was full, so I took the stairs and I'm exhausted. She handed me the bags. After a moment's pause, she suddenly realized something was wrong. "Wait a minute. This is a maternity and child health hospital. Why are you here, you little rascal? Don't tell me." Her expression turned to astonishment. "You brat, tell me the truth. Did you get some girl pregnant?" She followed that with a smack on the head and a kick to the behind. I looked helpless. "Mom, it's not what you think. Nothing good ever happens in a place like this. Luckily, I'm busy today, or I'd give you a good talking to." My mom glared at me and then led the way into the ward. I glanced at the room number behind her and instantly froze. It was the exact same room the nurse had mentioned. I had a massive headache, realizing the two things had just collided. I went inside and saw that it was indeed Jiang Wanwan. Jiang Wanwan, lying on the bed, also looked up at me. Her face instantly flushed with shock and horror. Seeing Jiang Wanwan and hearing my mother's words, the truth finally clicked. My mother's best friend was Jiang Wanwan. My mom hadn't noticed our expressions and was still going on. "Auntie Lee's friend just has bad luck with men. The baby is almost due, and the father hasn't shown up or cared at all. He's a total scumbag. I'm telling you, son, you can never be like that." My mom was giving me an on-the-spot lecture, earnestly educating her son. Jiang Wanwan and I exchanged glances, instantly recalling that night at the hotel. "It was you." I hadn't expected the beautiful woman I'd met to be my mom's best friend, Jiang Wanwan. She also hadn't expected the guy she'd met to be her best friend's son. A blush of shame spread across Jiang Wanwan's pale face. "This is just too humiliating. Mom, I need to tell you something." To avoid a severe beating, I tried to phrase my words as delicately as possible. Actually, I'm the scumbag you're talking about." My mom had just taken a sip of water and nearly spat it out when she heard me. "What? The scumbag I've been cursing for ages is my own son?" Seeing her best friend's questioning gaze, Jiang Wanwan's face was awkward. She finally gave a difficult nod. "Sister May, he's right. The child in my belly is your son's." My mom's expression was utterly shocked by her son's confession. "My own son is the scumbag I've cursed over and over again. How could I raise a son like this? What a sin!" Her best friend was pregnant for 10 months, and her son hadn't even asked about her. He only showed up after being called repeatedly, just before the birth. Did a dog eat his conscience? My mom was furious and was about to kick me when a nurse walked in. "Has the expectant mother's family arrived?" Seeing my mom and my stunned expressions, the nurse exclaimed, "No way! Xiao Shu, you're the father?" I, having dodged a kick, realized at that moment that the nurse was my cousin who worked at the maternity hospital. Hearing my cousin's question, I nodded awkwardly. My cousin was stunned. The scumbag is Auntie's son? And Auntie's best friend is carrying Xiao Shu's baby? Shocked, she covered her mouth and chuckled. "I can't believe it, Xiao Shu. You just graduated and you're already a father of triplets." "Triplets?" Hearing my cousin, my head exploded again. Not only was it a single hit that worked, but it was a 3-shot success. But there was no time to think. The surgery was about to start. My mom and I followed the gurney all the way until the operating room doors closed. Then, the two of us stared at each other. Mom, listen to my clever defense. Listen to my explanation. I quickly tried to smooth things over, but my mom grabbed my arm and dragged me out into the hallway. Come on, talk! I want to hear what you little brat has to say! Though helpless, I recounted the entire story to my mother, from start to finish. Of course, I was careful about what details I shared. My mom listened, secretly alarmed. She thought, these young people today are too reckless. So, you didn't know that night that it was Jiang Wanwan? No, Mom. I swear to God, if I had known it was your best friend, you couldn't have dragged me to do it. But you still did it, she retorted. I was speechless. 2 hours later, the operating room door opened. My mom immediately rushed over. The Lee family has triplets. 2 girls and 1 boy. Mother and babies are safe. The moment my mom saw the 3 little babies, her eyes lit up as if she were dreaming. I'm only 48 and I'm a grandmother. And to my best friend's children. You wouldn't even dare write a TV show like this. My mom was overjoyed. I felt the same way. Mom, I want to hold them too. Seeing my mom holding the 3 babies as if they were treasures, I felt a little envious. But the babies were so tiny and fragile that I didn't know how to handle them. Wait, I'll show you, my mom said, giving me a glare. He's my son after all. She taught me, hand over hand, how to hold the babies. Soon, I got the hang of it. After that, I held all 3 babies and lightly kissed them on the forehead. Just like that, I'm a dad. My mom saw this and was immediately displeased. Hey, you brat! Your mouth has bacteria! What if you infect my grandsons and granddaughter? System notification. The host kissed his 3 children. Congratulations. Reward: 30,000 yuan and complete parenting skills knowledge pack. A flood of massive knowledge poured into my mind. Now, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to describe myself as a top-tier parenting expert. Wanwan, how are you? A moment later, the operating room doors opened, and Jiang Wanwan was wheeled out. My mom rushed forward with concern. I'm fine. I'm okay, Jiang Wanwan said, lying on the bed. Her face was pale, and a thin layer of sweat covered her forehead. That's good, my mom muttered twice, secretly relieved. While she was incredibly happy about her 3 grandchildren, she was also constantly worried about her best friend. I also came closer and asked with concern. Professor Jiang, you worked hard. Jiang Wanwan was at a loss for what to do. Seeing me made her inexplicably nervous. Forget it, we'll talk later. My mom gave me a knowing look. I instantly understood. Then, I pushed Jiang Wanwan's bed back to the ward. Son, you need to propose to Wanwan right now, in front of her, my mom said in the ward. Wanwan carried these babies for 10 months. Because of her health and the fact that it's triplets, she refused to abort and had a falling out with her family. She suffered a lot because of you, you brat. You have to have a conscience. I'm telling you, son, Wanwan is like my own daughter. If you dare to be heartless, I won't let you off the hook. My mom interrogated me with a serious face. This was a matter of principle. She knew how much Wanwan had endured and was determined to stand up for her best friend. Of course, I'll take responsibility. I genuinely didn't know before. I wasn't deliberately being a scumbag. Facing my mom's cross-examination, I scratched my head and voiced my thoughts. In short, I have no problem with it. But then Jiang Wanwan suddenly called out, Sister May, could you push the bassinet closer? I want to see the babies. My mom reluctantly pushed the bassinet closer to Jiang Wanwan. Despite the pain from the anesthesia wearing off, Jiang Wanwan propped herself up to look at the 3 little babies, her eyes full of doting affection. I couldn't help but be mesmerized watching from the side. A supreme beauty is a supreme beauty. Even though she looked a little tired, her gorgeous face and captivating beauty were still deeply moving. You brat, get out here! Just as I was lost in admiration, my mom suddenly grabbed my arm and pulled me out. What is it? Based on your tone, is my best friend, who's so beautiful and a university professor, not good enough for you or something? Are you reluctant to take responsibility for her? Could you please be a little gentler? My forehead was sweating profusely. I didn't say she wasn't good enough for me, and I didn't say I wouldn't be responsible for her. Then what did you mean by but? I meant that I don't know what Jiang Wanwan thinks yet. This is a 2-person matter. I can't just be the only one rushing into it, can I? That's true, my mom nodded. She finally let go of my arm. It's no good if my son agrees, but Wanwan disagrees. However, she truly thought having her best friend as her daughter-in-law would be wonderful. After a 2-second pause, my mom suddenly pulled out a bank card. Here's 30,000 yuan. Go pay the fees and handle all of Wanwan's admission procedures. I grinned and took the bank card. I wasn't going to turn down my mom's kindness. System notification. The host accepted his mother's money, triggering the filial piety mission. Congratulations. Reward. A top-spec BMW X7, parked on the first floor of the Maternity and Child Health Hospital's underground parking lot. Wow. The system is generous this time. The base price for a BMW X7 is over 2 million yuan. On the other side, my mom began to earnestly persuade Wanwan. As the saying goes, a woman who is 3 years older brings a gold brick. 30 years older brings a kingdom. 300 years older brings a celestial pill. You're only 6 years older, so that's 2 gold bricks. But Sister May, Xiang Wanwan was still hesitant. If your son and I live together later, how will we address each other? Hearing this, my mom's face instantly lit up. She's finally coming around. The titles are easy. It's no big deal. We can just keep addressing each other as we always have. Just then, my cousin, Sun Qian, the nurse, came into the room to give instructions on various matters. Seeing the 3 little babies, she couldn't help but coo over them. Oh, by the way, has your milk come in? Milk? Jiang Wanwan was awkward. Not yet. You need to start. The colostrum has lots of nutrients beneficial for newborns. Since the babies are triplets, they weigh less than normal and need the nutrition right now, Sun Qian said, picking up one of the babies and bringing it to Jiang Wanwan. What are you doing? I don't have any. Jiang Wanwan's face paled. She hadn't yet fully grasped her role as a mother. It's normal not to have any at first. Let the baby latch on, and it will come in, Sun Qian said, smiling knowingly. Okay. Jiang Wanwan hesitated. Seeing that there was no one else in the room, she picked up the baby. My mom's eyes were glued to the scene. After being best friends for so many years, this is the first time I've seen her. Real deal. Now my 3 grandsons and granddaughters are in luck. But after Jiang Wanwan nursed for a long time with a flushed face, she still wasn't successful. At this, the 3 little babies started crying loudly. They must have been hungry. Jiang Wanwan felt a little ashamed. Surely I'm not that flat? Sun Qian quickly reassured her. It's normal not to have any at first. For many, it takes more than 24 hours. My mom went to the 2 loudly crying babies and soothed them. Are you hungry, little ones? Grandma will mix some formula for you, okay? She then took out the bottle and formula. Let me mix the formula, I offered, just having returned from paying the fees. Jiang Wanwan quickly turned her body away. My eyes just happened to catch a glimpse, and I was momentarily lost in thought. The sun outside is too bright, too scorching. You know how to mix formula? My mom asked, not noticing the change in my expression. Who doesn't? It's just mixing formula, I said. I moved with skilled, quick motions and finished in no time. My mom watched, wide-eyed. Wow, I can't believe you actually know how to do that. Even Jiang Wanwan was impressed. Maybe this person isn't completely unreliable after all. But then, phooey! She immediately recalled the look I had just given her. This guy is a major pig's trotter. After a while, Jiang Wanwan wasn't as shy and slowly turned her head back. But seeing me still made her a little flustered. After all, I had seen her naked. The shame was even more intense than that night. Sun Qian covered her mouth and secretly smiled, then quickly returned to normal. She gave a few instructions to my mom and left. Jiang Wanwan was exhausted and gradually fell asleep. Son, I'm going to make Wanwan some confinement food. You stay here and watch her and the babies. Don't take advantage of her, my mom instructed. Got it, Mom, I replied seriously. I turned to look at Jiang Wanwan sleeping and couldn't help but sigh. I just graduated, and I'm already with my university goddess and have 3 children. This feels so unreal. I quietly watched her gorgeous, captivating face. Even in her sleep, she was beautiful. What a perfect goddess. An hour later, my mom returned with the confinement meal she had cooked and presented it to Jiang Wanwan with concern. I don't know if it suits your taste, but confinement food is like this, light and focused on nutrition. Smelling the food, my stomach rumbled with hunger. I couldn't help but complain. Mom, did you forget to bring food for me? I haven't eaten. My mom slapped her forehead. Oh dear, I was only thinking about Wan Wan and completely forgot about you. This food is all for Wan Wan. Why don't you go downstairs and eat? I reluctantly covered my stomach and rolled out of the ward. After eating at the cafeteria and returning to the ward, my mom was ready to go home. Son, I have to go. I have a pile of work to handle at the office. Take good care of Wan Wan tonight and don't bully her. Don't worry, Mom. If I don't take good care of her, you can break my legs, I replied with a smile. My mom glared at me, then turned to Jiang Wan Wan and spoke softly. Wan Wan, I am heading back now. If this brat dares to bully you, you tell me. Also, if you need anything, just order him around. He's young and loves doing the dirty work and heavy lifting. My head swelled up. Oh, Mom, please stop talking. Your grandsons and granddaughter are my son and daughter too, and I prefer to do the clean work. I pushed my mom out the door without question. Back in the ward, Jiang Wan Wan spoke to me first. You and your mom are quite amusing. We're usually like this. I smiled, though I felt a little awkward. Technically, I still have to call her auntie by generation. I can tell you have a really good relationship, Jiang Wan Wan said with a hint of envy in her tone. After a casual chat, the sense of awkwardness between us gradually dissipated. Because of Jiang Wan Wan's natural gifts and my help, she quickly successfully initiated her milk flow. System notification. The host assisted in successful milk flow. Reward. A fully furnished luxury apartment in Bixijing. Additional reward, plus 10 constitution points. I collected the reward in the restroom. A huge wave of power suddenly surged through my body, spreading to all my limbs and bones. Then came a wave of intense pain. My bones and muscles felt like they were being reshaped by an unseen force. In less than a minute, I was covered in sweat. I looked in the mirror, and the person staring back looked like a marble statue. 8-pack abs, a lean, defined waist, and a face that was even more handsome. The next morning, around 6 a.m., my mom enthusiastically arrived with breakfast. Jiang Wan Wan was already awake, and I, having stayed up all night, took the opportunity to catch a quick nap. The breakfast my mom brought was very lavish. Jiang Wan Wan knew the babies. Nutrition was important, so she didn't stand on ceremony and started eating. Thank you, Sister May, Jiang Wan Wan said politely. Why are you being so polite? My mom handed her more food and asked about the previous night. Did that brat bully you last night? No, Jiang Wan Wan thought back to the previous night, and a blush crept onto her face. She glanced at me, and her heart skipped a beat. Why has this brat become so handsome? I heard my mom's words and wasn't pleased. Mom, look at what you're saying. Why would I bully her for no reason? Just as long as you know it, my mom said, smiling and giving me a playful glare. She handed me my breakfast. Hurry up and eat it while it's hot. After my mom left, the ward was much quieter. A short time later, the morning rounds nurse came in. Chen Shu, what are you doing here? I couldn't help but exclaim. The nurse was none other than Liu Ruyan, my first love. What a coincidence. I didn't expect to see you at the hospital. Liu Ruyan quickly walked up to me. Even now, she clearly remembered how good I had been to her back then. We broke up because we were too young at the time. I was clueless. But 7 or 8 years have passed, and the awkward high school boy has become handsome and imposing. The moment Liu Ruyan saw me, her heart began to thump inexplicably. After all these years, it seems I still prefer Chen Shu's type. She walked toward me enthusiastically, even reaching out to grab my arm as she did back then. I felt a massive headache coming on and subtly stepped back, avoiding her hand. Are you on duty today? Yes, we had a meeting yesterday, and it's my turn today. Liu Ruyan was slightly taken aback, but she didn't dwell on it. After all, she had hurt me deeply back then. So a little coldness was to be expected. She glanced over and saw the 3 little babies beside me. Wow, triplets! Chen Shu, whose relatives? Children are these? They're so cute! I scratched my head. These 3 are my children. What? These 3 are your children? Liu Ruyan was stunned and asked in disbelief. Chen Shu, are you married? No, I'm not. Not married, but you have children? You must be mistaken. These are really my children, my biological ones, I explained. Liu Ruyan's face instantly changed color. How is that possible? By the timeline, didn't you just graduate? How could you have children right after graduation? There's nothing impossible about it. There are plenty of college students with babies before graduation, let alone me, who has already graduated, I said casually. Liu Ruyan wailed inwardly. It's true, but you used to be so distraught over me, wanting to die. Why didn't you wait for me? How could you have 3 children with someone else without telling me? Frustrated, she then had a change of heart. Chen Shu wasn't married, and the pregnancy was an accident. Since it was an accident, the future wasn't set in stone. In other words, she still had a chance. Thinking this, Liu Ruyan puffed out her chest and walked toward her love rival on the hospital bed. However, in the next second, her smile froze on her face. The rival was simply too beautiful. She was a mesmerizing beauty, one who could make a fish sink and a goose fall. Just one look made her, a woman, feel stirred. Compared to her, Liu Ruyan felt like a country bumpkin. What shocked her even more was her rival's generously wide chest, which was truly impressive. Liu Ruyan looked down at herself, and a wave of intense inferiority washed over her. I thought we could rekindle our old flame, but I was just overthinking it. Liu Ruyan completed her routine checkup, asking about Jiang Wanwan and the babies, and then left in a rush. If she stayed for another second, she felt she would turn into a lemon spirit. I breathed a sigh of relief after Liu Ruyan left. Thank goodness nothing happened. If Mom had seen that, I'd be in for another tongue lashing. Turning back, I saw Jiang Wanwan looking at me with a puzzled expression. The babies hadn't been fed long ago, so why was she feeding them again? I'm just worried the children are hungry, she said. In truth, she knew the babies had only just eaten, but she simply wanted to feed them, especially in front of Liu Ruyan. The moment Liu Ruyan walked in and she overheard our conversation, she felt restless. I didn't notice Jiang Wanwan's little scheme, and only reminded her, take it easy. It's not good for the little ones to eat too much at once. It might cause indigestion. In the afternoon, my mom rushed back to the hospital. Just as she was about to enter the ward, she heard someone call out from behind, "Auntie!" My mom turned around and froze. It was Liu Ruyan in her nurse's uniform. My mom recognized her. She had come to our house a few times when she and I were dating back in the day. Although nothing scandalous happened then, the aftermath was quite a scene. I refused to break up with Liu Ruyan, dramatically threatening to kill myself, crying to the heavens, swearing to love her forever, and taking her across the world. My mom was furious at the time and gave me a violent beating. Finally, my dad got involved and directly summoned his 7 wolves, a brand of belt, implying a harsh beating. So seeing Liu Ruyan again, my mom's heart sank. Did this little brat stir up more trouble? After Liu Ruyan left, my mom immediately turned to me, her eyes full of menace. You and that Liu Ruyan haven't been secretly up to anything, have you? I immediately broke out in a cold sweat. Mom, I have children now. How dare I mess around? You better not have. I'm warning you, brat. You're a grown-up now, not a kid anymore. If you dare to be unfaithful to Wanwan later, be careful. Before my mom could finish, I completed her sentence for her. Be careful you don't break my legs and skin me alive, right? That's right, my mom chuckled. Good boy, you know the drill. My mom placed the fruits and supplements by the bedside and gave them to Jiang Wanwan one by one. I peered into the bag and saw some of my favorite lychees. I tentatively asked, Mom, can I have a lychee? My mom glared at me. Of course, those lychees are for you. I smiled widely and took them. Thank you, Mom, you're the best. I still had one major concern in my heart. My dad still didn't know I had children. My mom sighed. Your dad just had an appendectomy and is still recovering. What do you think his reaction will be if he finds out about this? I immediately felt faint. My dad has a volatile temper and is impulsive. If he found out I had a baby with my mom's best friend, even with a fresh appendectomy, it wouldn't stop him from pulling out his 7 wolves to beat me. Just then, the phone rang. It was my dad. I panicked and handed the phone to my mom. Mom, it's Dad! My mom glanced at it calmly. He's calling you. Why are you showing me? Helpless, I answered the call. Hello, Dad? What's up? Can't I call you? My dad's voice came through the phone. Have you been up to no good lately, you brat? I quickly defended myself. I'm working hard and earning money every day. Where do I have the time to do bad things? My dad snorted. I figured you didn't have the guts. But let me tell you, Dai called this morning and said you corrupted your mom's best friend and got her to have 3 babies for you. I told him he was talking nonsense. My son is so outstanding. How could he do such a ridiculous thing? I felt guilty and quickly agreed. You're right, Dad. How could your son do such a ridiculous thing? My mom, beside me, rolled her eyes. My dad then instructed, "Oh, and remember, you have to call your mom's best friend Auntie. There's a difference in age and generation. You make sure you remember that, brat. If you feel like a beating, just try me." After hanging up, I looked at my mom. What should we do now? My mom shrugged. What can you do? The rice is already cooked. What can your dad do to you? Just put the 3 babies in front of him and see if he hugs his grandchildren first or beats you first. I immediately felt enlightened, and the huge weight in my heart was finally lifted. The next day, Sun Qian came to give Jiang Wanwan a full checkup and announced that she could be discharged tomorrow. My mom was overjoyed. Finally, I can take my grandchildren home. Jiang Wanwan also sighed in relief. Even though I and my mom were taking care of her, it was still inconvenient in the hospital. I, however, looked terrified. We're going home so soon? How am I going to face Dad's 7 wolves? Just then, the system suddenly popped up a task. Task, call Dad within 3 days and confess everything. My head swelled. Is this damn system trying to push me into a pit of fire? But the task was mandatory. If I refused, the system would self-destruct. I had no choice but to accept it reluctantly. Meanwhile, my mom suggested that Jiang Wanwan should live with me after she was discharged. The babies were just born, and you're in confinement. My son may be clumsy, but he's generally good and quite caring towards you and the children. Jiang Wanwan hesitated, but eventually nodded in agreement. My mom was beaming, but I felt nervous. Hold on, isn't this cohabitation? My mom saw my hesitation and was immediately displeased. I'm letting you live with my best friend, and you're not happy about it? I quickly explained, no, it's not that. I was worried that Jiang Wanwan wouldn't agree. My mom glared at me. I'm only telling you because she agreed. You brat, don't be ungrateful, I reluctantly agreed. My mom gave a few more instructions and went off to handle other things. I sat in the ward, my heart full of mixed feelings. Just then, the system suddenly reminded me. Host, your new car has been delivered. Please check it. I finally remembered the BMW X7 the system had rewarded me with. I went to the underground parking lot, found the brand new BMW X7, got into the driver's seat, adjusted the chair, and drove out of the hospital. On the road, I stopped at a convenience store to buy water. As I came out, I saw a familiar figure, my ex-girlfriend, Su Mucheng. She was heavily made up, clinging to the arm of a fat man. Seeing me, she looked disdainful. Are you stalking me? It's pathetic. We've broken up. I have a new boyfriend now, and he treats me very well. Doing this only makes me hate you more. I looked exasperated. Which eye saw me stalking you? Su Mucheng snorted. I was blind back then, only caring that you were handsome. But in this society, can being handsome feed you? Money is what matters most. Look, this is my boyfriend's BMW X. He bought me an LV on the very first day. She looked arrogant, as if showing off her spoils of war. I rubbed my forehead and said with a sigh, he bought you off for 50 or 60,000? You're really cheap, slightly better than a massage girl at a club. Su Mucheng exploded. Chen Shu, what did you say? You called me cheap? The fat man beside her couldn't hold back either. He pointed at me and cursed, you poor brat. Are you proud of being poor? I ignored them, turned around, and walked toward my own BMW X7, casually tossing a final line over my shoulder. By the way, your new boyfriend is pretty good. If you hadn't told me, I would have thought he was your dad. With that, I started the car and drove away. Behind me, Su Mucheng and the fat man stared dumbfounded as my BMW X7 roared away, their faces turning an extreme shade of ugly. I drove the car, feeling a burst of relief. Thank goodness I broke up with her decisively. Otherwise, I'd have been disgusted for a lifetime. Now I was standing at the ward door, my heart pounding. My dad had arrived unexpectedly. Although my mom had warned me, I was still terribly panicked. I knew my dad's temper, and especially since he'd just had an appendectomy, finding out I had a baby with my mom's best friend would probably make him jump out of bed in a rage. Dad, why are you here? You should have told me so I could pick you up. I forced myself to remain calm and greeted him with a smile. My dad's face was grim, and he ignored me, walking straight into the ward. I quickly followed, knowing a reckoning was at hand. My dad scanned the room, his gaze settling on the 3 little babies in the bassinet. His expression softened noticeably. He walked over, gently picked up one of the children, and his eyes filled with warmth. "It really is 3, my dad muttered under his breath, a hint of pleasant surprise in his voice. I seized the opportunity to explain. "Dad, this was truly an accident. I was drunk and confused, and it just happened. But don't worry, I will take full responsibility and be an upstanding man, just like you." My dad didn't say anything. After holding the baby for a while, he suddenly stood up and beckoned to me. "Come here with me for a second." My heart tightened. I knew the moment had arrived. I followed my dad out of the ward. He took me into an empty room next door and closed the door. My dad stared at me with a stern face. My palms were sweating from nervousness, fearing he would pull out his belt at any moment. But to my surprise, my dad pulled out a bank card from his pocket and handed it to me. "Take this." I was stunned. "Dad, what are you doing?" "What am I doing? You brat, you've got guts. This card has 800,000 yuan. It's half of your mother's and my life savings. Take it and go buy a house." My dad's tone softened, and he patted my shoulder. "You're not a kid anymore. Since this happened, you have to treat the mother and children well and take responsibility. Use this money to buy a house so they have a place to live. Next, go get the marriage certificate and give that girl a proper title as soon as possible." I took the bank card, my heart overflowing with emotion. Although my dad usually had a short fuse, at the critical moment, he always thought of me. Just as I was about to say something else, my dad suddenly pulled his belt out of his pocket and said with a smile, "Don't worry, it's nothing. I'm just putting on a show, so your mother knows I still have my authority as a man." Before I could react, the belt whipped against me. It stung so much I grimaced. My dad hit me and laughed at the same time. "You're a good-for-nothing, but you did well to give me 3 grandsons and a granddaughter at once. I was much weaker back in my day." Just then, the system notification sounded. Ding! Host has completed the Confess to Dad task and received a whipping from Dad with a belt. Task evaluation, unique achievement. Congratulations! Reward: 1 million cash and God-tier cooking skills. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This damn system truly loved drama. However, after that beating, I actually felt relieved. Although my dad hit me a few times, it was more a sign of his approval and support. Back in the ward, my mom and Jiang Wanwan looked at me with worried expressions. My mom sighed in relief when she saw I was fine, but she couldn't help but complain. "That old fool actually hit you?" I smiled and didn't say anything. Jiang Wanwan, her face flushed, whispered to me, "Are you okay?" I shook my head, my heart warm. Although this whole situation was a big mess, with my dad and mom's support, Jiang Wanwan's and my future was secure. Now it was time to take good care of her and the children and strive to be a qualified husband and father. Suddenly, my mom exclaimed in surprise, "Oh no, why is there blood here?" My dad was happily holding 2 of the babies. Hearing this, he looked down and saw that blood was indeed seeping from his incision. "Let me see!" Sun Chan quickly came over to check. "Auntie's husband, your incision has burst open. You need to find a surgeon to treat it." My dad glanced at the 4 to 5 centimeter wound and waved his hand. "It's nothing serious, I won't die." He then tried to reach for the 3rd baby. My mom's temper flared up. "You're a man in his 50s who just had surgery. Don't you have any sense? Are you gonna see the doctor or not?" "No! I'd rather die than go." My dad was having too much fun playing with the babies to leave. "You'd rather die? Well, I don't want to be a widow." My mom stood on her toes and twisted his ear. "Ouch! Sweetheart, please. I'll go, all right?" My dad was dragged away by my mom to see the doctor. Everyone else was speechless, pretending they hadn't seen anything. I shook my head and silently felt sorry for my dad for 3 seconds. "My dad is a little henpecked," I said to Jiang Wanwan helplessly. "I can tell," Jiang Wanwan smiled. "If we end up together, do you want me to be a henpecker too?" "I don't know, but I'd still prefer to be free and easy." "All that control is too much trouble," I muttered. "By the way, this card has 800,000 yuan. My parents want me to buy a house, but 800,000 might not get a very good house in Shihai City. What do you think?" "Whatever, I don't have high standards anyway," Jiang Wanwan answered casually. No high standards? What if I lived in a dog kennel? Would you live there too? I teased her deliberately. Jiang Wanwan rolled her eyes. I don't necessarily have to follow you wherever you live. And second, if you really lived in a dog kennel, I couldn't be with you. It's okay for adults to suffer a little, but the children can't be wronged. That's fair, I laughed. But don't worry, I definitely won't let you or the children live in a dog kennel. Sun Qian, listening nearby, felt her teeth ache. She clicked her tongue twice. The young couple is quite well matched. Sun Qian then reminded me, have you memorized the precautions for the new mother after discharge? I've got them, I replied. Avoid strenuous activity, pay attention to hygiene, and keep the incision dry. And what else? Sun Qian raised an eyebrow. I paused. Nothing else. Regarding intimacy, there's a 42-day recovery period. Any physical contact must be with the woman's consent and should be stopped if there is any pain, Sun Qian said matter-of-factly. I gave an awkward smile. Got it, cousin. You've already told me. You weren't doing that on purpose, were you? How could I be? Sun Qian widened her eyes. I'm an obstetrician. This is medical advice. Besides, I'm worried you young people have too much fire and won't be able to control yourselves. I finished packing and was ready to check out when my mom called. She said my dad's condition was a little serious. After cleaning the wound, he needed an IV drip. My mom complained on the phone that he was no help and just made trouble. My dad could only chuckle on the other end. Sun Qian came back with a 5,000 yuan cash hongbao, red envelope, and a specialized triplet stroller. Xiao Shu, Wanwan, this is my gift. Don't think it's too little. I was surprised. The hongbao was generous, and the stroller was clearly expensive. Cousin, isn't this gift a bit too big? Where are we at now? There's more to come. Sun Qian laughed. Next time, I'll give you a bigger one. Next time? Jiang Wanwan was puzzled. Of course, you and Chen aren't going to have a baby and then not get married, are you? Getting on the bus without buying a ticket isn't allowed. Sun Qian joked. I chuckled happily. Wanwan, let's accept it. It's cousin's kind gesture. After Sun Qian left, Jiang Wanwan and I put the 3 babies into the stroller, played with them for a while, fed them, and prepared to leave. Just then, Liu Ruyan showed up, bringing a 1,000 yuan cash hongbao and a fruit basket. Having a baby is a huge life event. As an old classmate, I congratulate you. I felt awkward and didn't know how to handle it. Jiang Wanwan said calmly, Honey, since it's your old classmate's kind gesture, just accept it. I was stunned for a moment, then quickly reacted. Thank you, old classmate. I accept the gift. Liu Ruyan felt intensely bitter, especially seeing Jiang Wanwan hold my arm and lean close to me. Her heart felt like it was being pricked by needles. She managed a few polite words and left in a hurry. After Liu Ruyan left, I smiled at Jiang Wanwan. You called me honey just now. It sounds really nice. Call me that from now on. Dream on. Jiang Wanwan's face flushed. I only let you be my honey for a few minutes. You want me to keep doing that? Go dream first. I intentionally teased her. Oh, so I was only your honey for a few minutes? How many minutes was it exactly? Jiang Wanwan understood my meaning, and her face turned even redder. Go away, your mind is so filthy. I'm not talking to you anymore. I laughed heartily, then pondered what to do with the gift from Liu Ruyan. Jiang Wanwan regained her composure. Since we accepted it, we should keep it. It's a kind gesture from your old classmate. 1,000 yuan can buy a lot, and it's a waste to throw away the fruit basket. Finally, Sun Qian finished her work and came to help push the stroller. Although Jiang Wanwan could walk, she couldn't walk for too long. I found a wheelchair for her to use to go downstairs. At the hospital entrance, I directly picked her up and held her. Sun Qian chuckled on the side, and Jiang Wanwan, as expected, felt a certain discomfort again. No doubt it was my phone in my pants pocket. The baby stroller was moving along. However, a few seconds later, when Jiang Wanwan unexpectedly discovered that I was holding my phone in my hand and not in my pocket, she panicked. I was holding Jiang Wanwan when she suddenly let out a small shriek and broke free from my arms, her face crimson. What's wrong? I was confused. I ran into a pervert, she said angrily. I was baffled. I was holding her. Where did the pervert come from? I tried to ask her, but she refused to say, insisting on walking herself. Even though she walked slowly, I had no choice but to let her down. She walked away slowly, and when she inadvertently glanced at a certain spot on me, her face instantly turned red. She was probably thinking, "No wonder!" Ding! Host hugged his wife. "Congratulations! Reward, 80,000 yuan. I was stunned for a moment. I get a reward just for hugging my wife? This system is quite generous. Xiao Shu, how is your dad doing now? Sun Chan asked. He's on an IV drip. My mom is with him. He should be fine soon, I replied. And what about the seriousness of the wound? He still says, it's nothing serious, I won't die. I chuckled helplessly. Sun Qian laughed too. That was indeed my dad's style. Just then, with a screech, my dad, Chen Depeng, and my mom drove up in their old Volkswagen. Although the car was old, it was still sturdy. Perfect timing, my dad said excitedly. Son, let's go. I'll drive you home. It turned out my dad's wound had burst. It could have been treated at the maternity hospital, but my mom thought there were too many people, so she drove him to another hospital. The doctor immediately scolded him for not being careful after surgery. My dad was still his usual carefree self, and his line, I won't die, made the doctor laugh. At my mom's insistence, my dad reluctantly agreed to have his wound treated and get an IV drip. After the IV, he insisted on driving us back. The doctor said it was okay to drive, so my mom glared at him and let him get into the driver's seat. Don't mind it, son. This car of your dad's may be old, but it's done great service for our family over the years, my dad said cheerfully. Ever since he found out he had 3 grandchildren, he was completely rejuvenated and happy about everything. No need, Dad. I have a car. What? You brat has a car? My dad looked unconvinced. I nodded and walked toward a BMW X7 parked nearby. I pressed the key fob and the lights flashed. My dad and everyone else were stunned. Son, is that really your car? That car costs over 2 million. Where did you get so much money right after graduation? My dad looked incredulous. It's only 2 million, Dad. Isn't it normal for a recent graduate to have a luxury car? I said with a smile. My dad was clearly stunned by my show-off. But despite their surprise, everyone quickly loaded the 3 babies and the stroller into my car. My mom also got in. My dad's car was suddenly empty. Half an hour later, we arrived at the entrance of Bishui Residential Complex, the most famous high-end community in Sihai City, where even a single apartment could cost tens of millions. Son, you live here? My mom asked in surprise. I have an apartment here, I said. You're not renting, are you? No, I bought it. My mom and dad were stunned. They were ordinary working-class people. They couldn't afford this kind of car or house, even if they didn't eat or drink for decades. Son, tell me honestly, are you with a rich woman? My dad asked sternly. Quote, yes, you're still young. Don't think about taking shortcuts, my mom chimed in. No, how could your son do something like that? I explained helplessly. To put their worries to rest, I showed them the property deed, the car contract, and my bank account. The rewards the system gave me were all legal income, from stock trading and Bitcoin speculation. After seeing everything, my dad was beaming with joy. That's right, my son is awesome for having 3 kids at once, and he's even better at making money than me. My mom also smiled with relief. But then she suddenly hit me. You brat, so you can make so much money? Then why did you scam your mother? I was confused. How did I scam you? You scammed me out of my 30,000 yuan bonus and subsidy, and you scammed your dad out of half his life savings, 800,000 yuan, my mom complained stubbornly. I smiled helplessly and handed the 2 cards back to them. Mom, Dad, I was just holding on to them temporarily. How is that scamming you? You guys insisted on stuffing them into my hands? We insisted on stuffing them in, but why did you actually take them, you brat? My dad asked. I tried to refuse. I told you I had money, but you didn't believe me. If I didn't take them, you were going to beat me up. I laughed. Mom and Dad, you've worked hard all these years. Let me give you an apartment. I took out a property deed and a set of keys. What? Give us an apartment? They were surprised and immediately objected. You fool! If you have money, why would you give us an apartment? It's not something we can eat or drink. It's a waste of money, my mom said. My dad agreed. But despite their words, they quietly took the property deed and keys. Is this really your house? Zhang Wanwan walked around the room and asked me. Of course it is, I smiled. How do you like it? It's not bad, right? It's not bad, she nodded. I thought you were just a poor student. I didn't expect you to be a hidden tycoon. I teased her. Then Professor Jiang is going to be a little busy from now on. I'm full of good qualities waiting for you to discover slowly. Who's going to discover them? She flushed, but her tone was disdainful. Quote, you just gave your parents an apartment by Swan Lake, didn't you? She asked. You heard that? Your parents were so loud, how could I not hear? She chuckled. You're very filial. Of course, I patted my chest. Filial piety is a traditional virtue of our Chinese nation. But why didn't you let them live in Bixhui? She blinked. I was momentarily speechless and scratched my head. Well, my parents aren't used to living in Bixhui. And besides, I want to live comfortably myself. Zheng Wanwan tilted her head and smiled. So that's how your filial piety works. A little bit of filial piety, but not much. Dad, forget it. Let Mom change the diaper this time. I advised my dad. What do you mean, forget it? My dad retorted. I'm a man who's lived for so long. The word forget it has never been in my dictionary. My dad insisted on continuing to change the little grandson's diaper. But halfway through, the little grandson suddenly peed all over his face. Ding! Host's dad was peed on by his obedient grandson. Task, grandfather-grandson filial joke. Congratulations! Reward, 30,000 yuan. My dad didn't mind. He chuckled and said, this means he's close to his grandpa. Besides, this is baby boy's urine. It's good for you. At noon, I offered to cook. You? Can you cook? My mom expressed doubt. Son, I'm not trying to put you down, but even a dog would shake its head at your cooking. My dad added, a final dig. I sighed helplessly. Just let me try this once. If I genuinely can't cook well, you can take over. My mom reluctantly agreed. I went into the kitchen and began to unleash my god-tier cooking skills. The first dish was home-style stir-fried pork. My movements were so fast they were a blur. Soon after, a dish of beautifully colored, fragrant, and delicious home-style stir-fried pork was ready. Son, Wanwan had 3 children for our Chen family. It really wasn't easy. We have to treat her well. My mom nagged from the side. I know, Mom, I replied, thinking to myself, I must make this meal satisfying for Zhang Wanwan. As I was busy cooking, my mom was still nagging beside me, constantly handing me ingredients, but she looked up and was stunned. I had already finished a plate of home-style stir-fried pork and had casually made a plate of smashed cucumbers. You finished it so quickly? My mom asked in surprise. Quote, yes, Mom, try some. I handed her a pair of chopsticks. My mom took the chopsticks and tasted the stir-fried pork. The moment it entered her mouth, her eyes widened, full of disbelief. In her decades of life, she had never eaten such delicious stir-fried pork. She then tried the smashed cucumbers, and the taste equally shocked her. Simple, smashed cucumbers, yet they were divinely delicious. Mom, how is it? Is it good? I asked, seeing her silently savoring it. I started to doubt my god-tier cooking skills. My mom quickly picked up another piece of smashed cucumber. She mumbled indistinctly, delicious, too delicious. Son, when did your cooking get so good? I've been teaching myself recently, I replied casually. Self-taught? Yeah, right, you brat. You're showing off again? My mom chuckled and scolded. She then picked up the smashed cucumbers. I'm gonna take this over so your dad can try it? Sure. I continued cooking, stir-fried radish with pig liver, steamed mandarin fish, tomato and milk soup, and boiled shrimp. Dishes were coming out one after the other. Just as I was thoroughly enjoying my cooking, my mom rushed back. Son, can you make another plate of smashed cucumbers? Your dad already finished the first one before we even started eating. Oh, Dad. I laughed. Comrade Chen Depeng was truly becoming more and more uninhibited in his old age. If I had dared to do that as a child, he would have beaten me up. It's fine, I'll make another one. I then asked, Mom, what did Dad say about my cooking after he tried it? Your dad said that before, a dog would shake its head at your cooking. Now, a cow would be stunned for 3 seconds. With the baby born, Zhang Wanwan discharged, and us moving into a new home, it was a joyous occasion. Under my mom's supervision, I cooked a huge table of food. When my dad saw the spread, his eyes lit up. If my mom hadn't been watching him, he would have started eating already. Wanwan? This is the first meal our family is having together, my mom said to Zhang Wanwan with a smile. Xiaoshu cooked this whole table of food. Hurry and try some. I guarantee you'll want more. Jiang Wanwan had just come out of the bedroom after a nap. She looked at the huge table of dishes and asked in surprise, "You made all this?" "Of course. Hurry and try some." I smiled. She nodded and picked up a piece of stir-fried spinach. The moment it entered her mouth, she couldn't help but exclaim, "Delicious!" She then tried the stir-fried radish with pig liver, the steamed mandarin fish, and the tomato and milk soup. Every dish made her taste buds explode. It was so delicious, she almost swallowed her tongue. "I never expected your cooking to be this good. It truly gives me a new perspective on you." Jiang Wanwan couldn't help but praise. I wasn't modest at all. "I told you long ago, I have no major faults. I'm just full of good qualities." My mom and dad, seeing how much Jiang Wanwan liked the food, kept adding dishes to her plate. Soon, her little plate was piled high. "Thank you, but I can't eat all this." Jiang Wanwan tried to manage the mountain of delicacies. Previously, she would have struggled, but now she figured she could not only finish it, but probably have 2 more plates. My dad monopolized the 2 plates of smashed cucumbers and ate them with extreme delight. He had never eaten such delicious smashed cucumbers in his life. He felt like the last few decades had been a waste. As the cook, seeing my family enjoy my dishes so much gave me a huge sense of accomplishment. Of course, I wasn't idle either. I was quite hungry after a morning of cooking. I tasted a piece of the steamed mandarin fish. My own cooking is truly amazing. "By the way, son, and Wanwan, have you decided on names for the 3 children?" My dad suddenly asked at the dinner table. "Not yet. We haven't been able to think of good names, so we put it on hold for now." "How can you not rush this? The children's names are a big deal." My dad clapped his hands. "How about this? I won't decide the official names, but I'll help you pick their nicknames." "How's that?" "Absolutely not." My mom immediately objected. "Don't pick names like Dog Leftover or Dog Egg." My dad chuckled sheepishly. "What's wrong with that? I'm a man of letters. The eldest is a boy. Let's call him Shitu Stone, representing sturdiness. The second and third are girls. One will be called Xing Xing Star, and the other Nyanian, remember." "How are those?" my dad suggested seriously. "I think they're okay," my mom pondered. "Xiaoshu and Wanwan, what do you think?" "Not bad," I nodded. "The nicknames are quite good." Jiang Wanwan also agreed. Seeing that everyone agreed, my dad was overjoyed. He then said, "Now that the nicknames are set, it's your turn for the official names." Jiang Wanwan and I flipped through the dictionary for a long time and finally had a breakthrough. "The eldest is a boy. Let's name him Chen Zhe," I suggested. "The second and third girls will be named Chen Yiqiao," one smile, "and Chen Yanran, charming smile." Jiang Wanwan added, "Chen Zhe, Chen Yiqiao, Chen Yanran. Good." My mom clapped the table in approval. My dad also agreed. With the unanimous consent of the family, the names of the 3 little ones were finally decided. After dinner, my mom and dad prepared to leave. Before they left, my mom pulled me aside and instructed me earnestly. "Son, when you live with Wanwan later, you're the man, so you have to defer to her in everything. Women have little tempers, so don't be petty. Also, Wanwan is still in confinement. You have to be mindful of her feelings. Don't mess around or take advantage of her, you hear me?" "You're gonna make my ears bleed," I said helplessly. "You don't listen, do you? Do you hear me now?" My mom twisted my ear. "Ouch! Mom, gently. I hear you, I hear you." I quickly rubbed my ear, my heart full of bitterness. Is this really my mother? I'm a college graduate, and she still hits me whenever she feels like it. After seeing my parents off, I turned around to find Jiang Wanwan standing behind me, laughing hysterically. "What are you laughing at?" I asked. "I'm laughing at how funny that was," she said, covering her mouth with a laugh. "You actually have moments like that. Ha 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 ha. This silly woman." My mom twisting my ear was making her happy? Just you wait, there will be a time for you to cry. That evening, Jiang Wanwan woke up and found me feeding formula to the 3 little ones. "Why didn't you wake me?" she complained lightly. "I wanted to, but you were sleeping so soundly. You wouldn't wake up no matter how much I called," I said helplessly. Her face flushed, and she didn't say anything more. She took 2 of the babies and started feeding them. After they were fed, I asked her what she wanted to eat for dinner. "Anything. Whatever's fine." "Whatever. How about I order takeout?" I teased her. She rolled her eyes. "I'm feeding the babies." If you're willing to sacrifice your children's health, ordering takeout is fine. Exactly. You're in confinement. It's better to be careful, I laughed. Tell me what you want, and I'll cook it myself. She thought for a moment. I've been craving fish lately. How about sweet and sour fish? Just one sweet and sour fish? Is that enough? How about adding some stir-fried garlic shrimp? Just add the stir-fried garlic shrimp then. 2 dishes aren't enough. Okay, how about a seafood soup? 2 dishes and 1 soup should be enough. I won't be able to eat more than that, she explained quickly, afraid I would waste food. I smiled, went downstairs to buy some groceries, and an hour later, dinner was ready. Jiang Wanwan was startled when she saw the sumptuous dinner spread. You bought all this? How many dishes are you planning to make? Not all of it is for this meal, I smiled. I'll keep it simple for dinner and just make a few dishes. She smiled helplessly and sat down to enjoy the rich meal. My mom, watching on video call, was salivating. She couldn't help but say, Wanwan, that barbecue looks so fragrant. When did that brat Chen Shu learn to cook like that? Jiang Wanwan ate and laughed at the same time. His cooking has improved by leaps and bounds recently. Everything he makes is delicious. This barbecue is his first time making it, and it tastes so good. My mom felt a longing in her heart. I have to find time to go over and try it, and see my 3 grandsons and granddaughter, of course. Jiang Wanwan smiled and nodded. Yes, you're welcome anytime. After hanging up the video call, Jiang Wanwan continued to enjoy the delicious barbecue. I was busy in the kitchen, and the smell of the grilled skewers filled the entire room. Even the 3 little babies seemed attracted by the aroma, making cooing sounds now and then. A little later, I carried out a large plate of freshly grilled skewers and placed it on the coffee table in front of Jiang Wanwan. Here, eat while it's hot. They're fresh off the grill. Jiang Wanwan's eyes lit up when she saw the big plate of skewers. That's so much. I can't eat all of it by myself. I laughed. It's fine, eat slowly, I'll eat whatever's left. Jiang Wanwan picked up a skewer and bit into it. Her mouth was instantly filled with flavor. It's seriously delicious. Chen Shu, your cooking is incredible. I smiled smugly. Of course, I have God-tier barbecue skills. God-tier barbecue skills? Where did you learn that? Jiang Wanwan asked curiously. I smiled mysteriously. Self-taught, of course. Jiang Wanwan rolled her eyes. There you go, showing off again.